Well, that right there is as good as it gets for a rancher. I came out last night to check them about 11. She didn't show any impending signs. We had her confined in here because I knew she was close, but I mean, I didn't see anything dangling from her or burst water or anything like that. So I went to sleep because I'm just exhausted. The last few days have been just incredible amount of work. And came out this morning, and here's a brand new bull calf on the ground, and the wife and kids already gave it its scourer's medicine there, and the calf was dry and had nursed already, and the placenta's gone, and just the whole thing. So I'm really impressed with these half Highland, half Angus heifers. I thought they might have the biggest problems just being heifers, but that Highland calf in them, it definitely makes for some calving ease so far. I'm pretty impressed with it. It is another night calf though. That's 3 out of 4 calves born at night, so it just shows that I'm right about the whole feeding at night thing only works in the dry lot situation. But that's now a 3/4 Highland, 1/4 Angus bull calf. So we're gonna band him. I'll show that later. That's a pretty easy process to do. We did it for the first time yesterday, and I'm sure it's not great for the calves, but it's bloodless, and once it stops stinging there, I think it's okay. It's probably their worst day, quite honestly. It's the worst day of their life, but it's not as bad as castrating pigs. So I'm gonna keep breeding here the Highland back to the heifers if we're gonna have this sort of calving ease. The downside is I now have a 3/4 Highland steer that's probably gonna take a lot longer to grow out than if you had more Angus. So I'm gonna have to figure out the economics of that, because my ideas on ranching have evolved quite a bit as I've got more experience. I used to think it was cool just to have the Highlands, but now with the hay bill and the feed bill and the amount of work that it is, I realize I need to make some money at this. And I know now why people grow the Angus versus the Highlands, because I don't get any more for the Highland beef, and if they take an extra 6 months to grow out to the same size, that's not very smart business. So we'll see though. I don't know if the quarter Angus in there will give him some of that hybrid vigor, some of that crossbred vigor, and he'll grow a little bit better. I don't know if the quality of the meat will be better and more flavorful. I don't know if he'll be a hardier Alaska animal, which is definitely what I'm breeding for. I'm not just trying to grow out beef as quick as I can to make the most amount of money. I'm actually having an enormous amount of fun trying to figure out what's sustainable here in Alaska, what's hardy, what's efficient, what's durable, because I don't like the idea of depending on the outside world to feed me or my family. And the more that I can do that myself, the better that I am. So I'm purposely breeding for disposition, hardiness, efficiency, all of those things. So we'll see how it goes. I made a decision here, since I'm running out of calving sheds, to open this door for the first time and let Mama out with the calves. Animals are just gonna have to figure this all out. And obviously the pigs could be a bit of a problem, and cows and calves running off could be a bit of a problem, but it's a beautiful spring day, and I think everybody needs to get to enjoy it a little bit. It's a mud pit down here, which I've talked enough about, and just I don't even want to look at it because it infuriates me, but I'm going to fix that. But up top the hill there's quite a bit of clear space now. When I went up last night to check the cattle, most of them are sleeping up there now, and they're just avoiding this like the plague, which thankfully they should be, because I'm going to be filling all that in here as soon as the snow goes. And it's April, so it can't last much longer. The D8 and the excavator and the crew of men is going to make this just a distant bad memory, and all these problems are going to be fixed. That's the thing about starting from scratch, folks. It definitely is a lot of work, and you don't get everything done in a very short Alaska summer, so you got to put up with a breakup or two, or at least I sure did, and I worked as hard as I could last year. So be ready for that if you ever try to do what I'm doing. That have a plan for the mud and for the nonsense, because it's definitely a soul sucker. It definitely takes a lot of joy out of life when you're fighting mud hours and hours and hours a day. Maybe the cows don't seem to hate it as much as I do, but for me it's an embarrassment and an eyesore, and it obviously impacts the usability of the land. So anyways, it's a beautiful spring day. It can't last much longer. All right, I'm gonna go have some coffee and get my day started here.